Hey, I want to make a video today to bring attention to what I think is a very serious subject right now. And I actually mean serious. I don't mean like I say serious and then I say something stupid, which is usually what I do. I mean something that's very serious. Right now, a lot of people think that this is a very safe time to be a gun owner. You know, we got a Republican Congress, we got a sort of Republican president, we got the NRA out there chugging along for us, and we got all these big visible pro-gun voices on the internet. It's just a great time to be a gun owner. Well, you're being lulled into a false sense of security. False sense of security. I don't know if I pronounced that very well the first time. And I'm going to tell you why. You're being fooled into thinking that people that aren't really pro-gun rights are somehow your supporters. They are actually out there fighting for you. That's just not the case. This industry is filled with both activists and actors, paid actors. And I have been trying to make this point for a long time. There are people out there that have your back, and then there's people out there that are just trying to make some scratch. And they don't care how they make it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people can't make a living or that people can't be in the gun industry and still care about your rights, because they can. Just because you make a profit doesn't mean you have to sell your principles. There are people that own gun shops, like Tim from Military Arm Channel, who I know stand up and do what's right when our own personal freedoms come under attack, even though it hurts their bottom line. They would rather sell 10 guns honestly than 100 guns at the expense of your rights or my rights. Those people exist. Forge from Freedom that makes these t-shirts. I support them because I believe they're good people. They're no compromise gun rights people. They don't rely on scare tactics and false battles to try to sell product. Now, I don't take a dime off these shirts. People think that I'm making a lot of money. I heard someone say the other day, you make these stupid designs and you try to make money. I don't make a dime off of these. Even the ones that are specifically made by me, I don't make any money off of. You can ask Forge from Freedom directly. I don't do that. Now, there are people out there that can take money and still maintain their principles. I like nice things too much. So I've always been afraid that if I start making too much money, I'll be like, woohoo, you know, cigars and caviar, sell those people down the river. I don't care. I got what I want. So I just avoid the whole thing. I let Forge from Freedom reimburse me for my work by giving stuff to you. They help me give away a gun every month. They help me give away prizes and patches to people. That's how I profit from my relationship with them, and they are happy to do that. So, like I say, but that's my own personal weakness. Like I say, people can own gun shops, they can own t-shirt businesses, they can do whatever, and they can make money. They can get rich off of guns. I wish every gun manufacturer became some of the biggest companies in America, and I wish gun shops became one of the most successful private ventures you could enter into. We all want that. But I don't want people that are pretending to be an activist when really they're a paid actor. I don't want someone pretending they have your back when they don't. Let's look at the reality. The NRA has done nothing for the last 20 years but compromise and then profit. Compromise and then profit. And there's no denying that. You can't sit back and say, no, they haven't, because they have. It's fact. And a lot of people love saying, whoa, we just got to change them. They're broken. They're broken beyond fixing. I'm sorry, they just are. And anyone that continues to support them should have to explain why they support them. And if they won't, you have to wonder why. So this idea that we're okay now, it's just not true. Because of the NRA compromising all the time, we have big bills now that are anti-gun, like I believe it's H.R. 3999. Now, don't quote me on it, but I think that's the title of the bill. But that was written by a Republican, and it was sponsored by 9 other Republicans. Because the NRA has made this okay. They've made compromise okay. The NRA wanted the ATF to just have the power to unilaterally reinterpret laws any way they wanted to ban something that wasn't illegal just because people find it objectionable. And they would have made a ton of money if the ATF would have done that. Believe me, they'd have been sending fundraiser flyers to you. They probably already had them printed and ready to go when they made that statement. So they're not on your side. And it's time for you to start figuring out who is on your side and who isn't on your side. Because I know they love to say, we need unity. Well, that's usually what traitors yell. If you've got a group of people together and someone in your midst is a traitor, usually the guy that first yells, "We need to stand together," that's your traitor. Because unity means nothing if everyone isn't devoted to the cause. If you have a traitor in your midst, get rid of them. Never suffer a traitor, period. And definitely don't support them under the guise of supporting your cause. So if the NRA is a traitor, get rid of them. Doesn't matter how many members they have, we're the members. If we go somewhere else, those members still exist. We don't cease to exist. We just put our power somewhere else. And if gun channels keep supporting compromise, etc., go somewhere else. Don't think of them as being someone that's got your back, or just watch them for entertainment. I'm not telling you I want gun channels to end because, let's face it, the gun community, like I said many times already, has already been divided for years. We all have different opinions of what certain things mean. And that's okay, because we come together when we need to. We're like that family that bickers around the dining room table, but if you say anything to any one of them and you're not in that family, you've got hell to pay. And that's the way the gun community is. We're like a family. But there are certain people in that family that want to start the fights. They're an outside influence pretending to be a member of the family, starting the fights because they profit off of them. That's the NRA, that's the gun manufacturers, etc. Because let's face it, like the old saying goes, what's good for Wall Street isn't good for Main Street necessarily. And that's the way it is. What's good for the NRA and what's good for the gun manufacturers isn't necessarily what's good for us. And there's a war coming. There is a real battle for our rights coming. When the NRA has created an environment where even Republicans are forming anti-gun bills now, and where the NRA is saying that government agencies should be able to infringe on our rights for no reason other than that they don't like what they're talking about, we're in a dangerous situation. And we are in a really bad situation of there might not be a Republican Congress next year or two. That might be going away really quick. That's really a danger right now. If you think Trump would stand in the way of anti-gun legislation if it was popular, I think you're crazy. He's a populist for a reason. He goes, well, whatever is popular. So it's time we stop calling out each other on what is right and wrong. We should be calling out the people that are actually doing right and wrong. We shouldn't be bickering amongst ourselves whether this big organization is doing what's right. We should be asking them, are you doing what's right, or are you doing what's profitable? Because it's okay to make a profit, like I said. It's okay to make money. It is not okay to sell your principles for profit. So everyone out there that's tied to the gun community, tied to the manufacturers, if you sell guns and you make a profit, that's great. If you do something like, give me $4,000 and I'll give you a good review, or give me this much money a year and I'll make sure people see your product, otherwise they won't see them from me, that's not business, that's profiteering. That's selling your principles. There's nothing honest about that. And I don't want someone dishonest watching my back. I don't even want to take advice on what ammunition I should buy from someone that I know will make their decision based on how much money they get. Much less count on that person to defend my rights. Because if me losing my rights is better for their business, if they're willing to sell their opinion for a paltry few $1,000s, do you not think they would sell your rights for tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars? They definitely would. So I just want people to wake up. Start realizing who out there actually supports you, who's part of your cause, and who's not. Figure out who's an activist and who's a paid actor. Start asking these channels, start asking these organizations, what do you really feel about these certain topics? Let us know. Just let us know. Are you on your side or are you on our side?